Later in the semester, the professor introduced his assistant, who was a very young man. I think he was in his late 20s. His specialty was not the piano, but the viola. He was very professional, very soft-spoken and kind, and sometimes when the professor was absent, he would take over the class, and he would talk about the viola, and he would also show everybody how the viola was played. I remember once that he did a rendition of the 90s Nickelodeon bumpers, the music that was in those bumpers. You 90s kids remember those old school Nickelodeon bumpers? He played the music from those bumpers on the viola, and I was in awe at that time. I thought it was really cool. It was really embarrassing to go to class every day to face him because I had this crush on him. I really tried to hide it. Once, when I was waiting for the class to start, I smiled at him and he acted nervously. I don't know if you guys know about women's intuition, but my intuition told me that he liked me too, but he couldn't do anything about it because we were in a professional setting. I did see him outside the lecture hall in school concerts because I had to go to these concerts and write papers on what I thought about the music. And I saw him perform the viola and I was in awe at that time. And, I just had a huge crush on this dude who practically didn't know that I existed. I did a little bit of research on my computer about my crush, and then I found out that he was of Italian Greek descent, and he was from a prestigious music background. So he went to a music school in Long Island. And I also found out that he was a Capricorn. So then the semester went on until halfway through the semester and during the midterms, something really stupid happened. Something very embarrassing happened. I was going to go to another one of those concerts, but it didn't have Viola Boy in it. It had other students that were playing different instruments. And then I saw him outside of the concert hall. I completely fucked up. There was a vacuum between me and Viola Boy, and I was going to walk away from him, and then I tripped on the vacuum cord, and it was really embarrassing, and I ended up unplugging the vacuum altogether. I actually saw him on the sidelines putting back the cord into the socket. Jeez, that was really embarrassing. I recommend nobody do that. But I reacted that way because at the time I was very young. I didn't really have a lot of confidence in myself. And also I was fresh from high school and I was going through a lot of things at that time. So after that embarrassing incident, I saw him during the finals, and he was passing the test papers to everybody, and of course it was really difficult for me to concentrate on my finals because he was there and he was going up and down the lecture hall, and eventually I made it through, and I was really embarrassed to pass him my test paper, so instead, I think it was 5 minutes before the class ended that I ended up putting the paper back on the table really quickly without him noticing, and I just left. Of course, I passed that class with flying colors, but I avoided going to that music building for a very long time. So I continued my college career and I decided to forget about this crush because it was temporary and my studies were far more important and getting my degree was far more important than worrying about that. I completely forgot about this guy. After I graduated, I found out that he got married to another viola player, a female version of him, and she wasn't really that attractive, to be honest. I guess you could say they were on the same level. I mean, they're both musicians, so maybe that's why he chose her. Anyway, they got married, and I think they moved to the upper part of the Bronx, which is for more wealthy people, because a lot of people constitute the Bronx as ghetto, and there's a lot of shootings going on, but there's a beautiful part on the upper part of the Bronx, and it's a really nice place. There's a lot of gardens and a lot of attractions there.